the tops, we're selling the ring, we're telling the story, that kind of sort of thing. I mean, I see some guys in there that are doing good, but I just don't. I seen a match the other night with Sami Callihan and RVD. I tell you, I was not at all. I just wasn't. Why? Okay, when's this match going to over? I just didn't see it.
The thing I didn't like about RVD is I really don't like the pairing that he's in right now.
Oh no, it don't work for me. His music is. I don't like the music at all.
I wasn't even going to go into the music. I was just going to like
the pairing guy. No, I just side
like his
note.
Girlfriend or wife or whatever is valet, and he pulls on this character like God's greatest gift, and to me it just doesn't work for RVD. But Sami, I do dig Sami Callihan as a wrestler. I do think he's a really good one. If I was to say someone that's more of the new that I'm find really interesting to watch is actually Chris Bay. I think Chris Bay is a good talent.
First time I seen him recently was in that triple threat match with him and TJ and
Raju.
Yeah, I can't pronounce his name right now. But I thought that was a good match. Actually, it was good play. It was well played off. I was actually intrigued by that match. After that, it was kind of like, we'll see what else happens. But you got the Good Brothers in there.
Yeah.
They're I like what they're doing, and there's some other people. I just you can see that it's a very young environment, and learning, and they're not. If you're a long time Impact fan that took a break and come back, you're like, okay, this is not the TNA Impact, or at least the Impact name. It's like, this is not what not like trying to say, hey, the old times or anything are good, but it's more or less, you're not, you may not be invested into it, emotionally invested into it. I'm just not there yet with that. I just think, I'm not really intrigued. It's not something I feel like I have to watch necessarily. Here's the thing I'm not invested into, I don't care for. I know you like it, which is fine, but Wrestle House. I tried, but I tried them a time, but I just think really.
I don't think it's for you.
And it's not. It's just, only I thought it was funny. Two things that they did out interesting is that those two guys that are the beer drinkers, someone stole their beer, which is something I would have said when I was drinking. And then the other thing I thought was interesting is that the ones that are younger wouldn't get it, but that moment where they had Dreamer and some other guy, and they're throwing sand, so to speak, inside to in people's faces, and it was like they yelled out Fuji, and like a lot of people wouldn't. There's a lot of people, unless you watched the network back years ago, you wouldn't. A lot of people that didn't know that don't watch the network with Fuji or more, with Yuko, they wouldn't understand what that even means. But I know what it means, and you know what it means. But I thought, hey, I thought it was kind of interesting. Yeah. Other than that,
Wrestle House pays a lot of homage to the old stuff. I dig it. I think it's a funny skit that got going. I do like that it doesn't take too serious, and I love the fact that when they want to settle differences, Tommy Dreamer yells match time. That's been my favorite thing about it. So I dig it. You mentioned tag team champions, the tag team Motor City Machine Guns and whatnot. So a tag team just got let go from WWE, Authors of Pain.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you think they're going to end up?
If I can't. Of course, I'm speaking upon my own self. If I was the owner of a major company and had the finances to do it, me personally, I would definitely pick them up. Just depends on. I don't think that they're in the level of demand where they can sit there and demand a price necessarily. As far as a lot of long time big name veterans, obviously. I think if they, I would offer them some money to come and do some work. I think and they're either going to wind up. Obviously, the big picture would be, I think, between Impact or AEW. I think Tony Khan, if he has interest, I think that they would do great stuff in AEW because their tag team division is top level. Their tag team division is better than any other company, in my opinion. I think they're even better than Impact, definitely better than Raw, WWE in general. I think that definitely, if they want to be part of something big, part of something that's great with tag team division, they belong, and they're a great tag team. But when they belong together, I think they definitely will be lining up in AEW. That's my viewpoint on that one. But and if Khan has the interest into it, and it was his boys, the vice presidents and all of them in the back, they go along with. I think they should definitely pick them up. I think they definitely should, because I think they have a lot to offer, and they would have great matches in AEW by far. Like I said, it's their top tag teams right there.
Yeah, I'm torn between AEW and Impact. I can see them being beneficial to both, especially in Impact trying to grow the tag team division.
Mm-hmm. That's just true.
It's a mixed bag on where I would see them really going.
The only flaw, I wouldn't even call it a flaw, probably. Obviously you said growing tag team and Impact is that's the plus side. It would help Impact out, and maybe probably help out AOP or whatever name they're going to be called, their next venture. But they're the only it's hard to say downside is that they would go to AEW.
The artist.
All I would say is the hard part is if they get lost in the shuffle, but I don't think Tony Khan would allow that to happen. Obviously, because they have a well-known name, they have a good enough name from being WWE to where people would recognize them, and that's money. Why would you not put your money on the TV or on the ring, on TV? And so it's money, and they're good enough to where I don't think they're going to get lost in the shuffle. And hey, if you're not on the main show, you're on Dark, but I think they would definitely be used on the main show. Dynamite for all you know AEW. But yeah, I think that I might. Yeah, once again, like I said, that'd be good evolution for Impact, but I think it would benefit in some ways a little touch more for AEW.
Yeah, I don't know. And I joked saying calling them the Artists of Pressure using the same AOP name. I don't know where they would end up. I do think that you're going to land on their feet because one, they're big dudes. I honestly think that they have a good dominant character trait. And I can see them fitting into the mold at both AEW and Impact. I think it's going to really be a toss-up between those two. I could be wrong, but I think it's either one of them. They're going to scoop them up, and they would help both divisions. I do think if they go to AEW, I think Page and Omega will definitely already be split up by that point because I think they don't need Page and Omega anymore.
I think they're about to split them up anyways, I think.
Yeah, I don't think they need them anymore.
No, I don't think so either.
They've already helped the tag division. They still got the Bucks. They got the Best Friends. They got Jurassic Express. They have FTR. They have actually two different sets of tag teams. They have Brody Lee with whoever he wants to tag with in the Dark Order. And then they have Uno and Stu Grayson in the Dark Order.
Yeah, the Nightmare.
Natural Nightmares, which QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes. And there's probably a couple other tag teams that I'm not even thinking of.
Oh, yeah.
SCU.
SCU. Did you mention Private Party, actually?
Yeah, Private Party.
Okay, you did mention that, okay. Yeah, their tag division's phenomenal. It's just, the only thing I like about it, they don't necessarily overdo it. And I like, there's a lot of things about AEW I think is just awesome. The one thing I'm going to say this real quick. I think I heard Bully Ray say this not too long ago. He kind of compares AEW to ECW, and I can see maybe certain little vibes. I see it's a mixture of things. I see them being original themselves. I see them having some influence from WCW, not the bad days, by the way.
Right.
They have different influences in their company. They have maybe a touch or two in there of back with TNA and their good prime. Not a lot, but just a touch or two. But more or less, I think their biggest thing is obviously what the biggest influence in my view is the good days of WCW, but it's not like they're copy. They're their own original people. And it's like with WCW, obviously they're much more corporate. AEW, it's a very not as much corporate, not really at all. It's like freedom, which makes it even better. But I just lost my train of thought for a second, actually.
Well, what I see the relations to WCW is one. It's the WCW was a very good mix.
Oh yeah, very good mix.
They had a little bit of everything, which is what AEW is kind of accomplishing in a way. They had the 3 announcers, which WCW was known for: Mike Tenay, Tony Schiavone, and Bobby the Brain Heenan, or Larry Zbyszko, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Eric Bischoff, or any other of those mixtures.
By the way, for all you that are listening, I didn't forget about Excalibur. Just to say he's good too. So shout out to him. We didn't forget about Excalibur.
Yeah. I think they have that mix, and I think they have kind of the mix in the booking style, because I think Tony Khan and Cody have very similar booking style to WCW, and it's very competitive in that sense.
Oh yeah,
I see the ECW in the form of the camaraderie, because ECW was one of those where we're a tight knit group. You fuck with us, you're fucking with all of us.
Absolutely. I see different things. I see them being the foes, but I see it's like more of a family, and not. I mean, to cut you off there. Go ahead. What you're saying?
No, that was my main point.
The other thing, I ain't gonna say ripping up or bashing anybody right now, or anything, but there's something that I heard recently. For y'all that know about Jim Cornette, what he's saying about it's just a friendship company, and it's all friends. I don't totally go along with that. For y'all that do listen to this podcast, I listen to it for the entertainment. But I heard that recently. Like, I just don't totally. It's still very good competition, and you can see they have good storylines of foes, and but you can see there's what you're talking about, the ECW type of environment of family.
Yeah, and so Jim Cornette, he has a nugget of brilliance here and there.
Mm.
But I'm sorry, Jim Cornette seems like angry Abe Simpson yelling at a cloud.
Oh my God.
He gets angry about
Everything.
lot of things, and some things he could be right about, and it's his opinion.
Well, yeah, there are some things that I definitely agree with him on, but he shits on so many damn things. I'm like, dude, it's like, I understand that there's things that I don't like about modern professional wrestling, and there's things that I don't like, things I didn't like back in the day. But
then he goes into this thing, like, he starts bringing up stuff from like the 70s and 80s. And I love the stuff I grew up with in the 90s. That's perfectly fine. You're supposed to love things you loved as a kid. I still watch cartoons from the 90s. But
nothing wrong. My favorite TV cartoon was way back in the day with Flintstones and Jetsons. But I just I don't really watch it so much anymore. Nothing wrong with it. Just don't have time for it. I mean, only cartoon I'll watch here and there is with Hunter Bailey, which is my niece and nephew. But I don't know. It just, like I said, I like the old time.
I actually want to finish the thought here. I still watch cartoons from the 90s, and I do let my son experience them so he can get an idea what it was like. He likes some of them, which is fine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't rip on cartoons nowadays, because I'm just like, this is not like Tiny Toon Adventures. Tiny Toon Adventures was better because of this, or this, and this. Things change, things evolve, things become different things, and it's not necessarily meant for him. I don't think he could see the positives in any of the things that are going on. He rips in part that he's crippling the business. He's not taking into account the fact that AEW is pulling in almost 1 million viewers on Wednesday when they went on uncontested against NXT, and even still they were hitting 900,000. That's a big deal for a company that's only been around for a year. And the fact that WWE scared away a lot of the viewers over the last 10 years, where they're constantly losing viewers for wrestling, because wrestling is not as popular as it was in the 90s. I don't even know if it would be able to get to that point anymore, because TV's done so differently nowadays. AEW is doing the right thing by putting some stuff on YouTube with AEW Dark. I do think that's a great idea. Not a huge fan of that delivery method, but it's a good idea. but keep harkening back to, well, this is kind of like when this happened in the 1980s.